Oh boy, what can I say about this chapter? If you already got that, Daniel lost. I'll get onto that at the end of the video. This chapter was fucking gas, bro. Like every aspect of this chapter was fucking incredible. I do have my problems, but it was fucking incredible. This fight was so entertaining. We get to see Daniel do some new shit. We get new information on UI, some contradictory information on UI as well. Like, dude, this chapter was just filled with a bunch of shit. Starting off with the fact that Daniel was copying UI Daniel's physique. This is crazy because from what we know, Daniel doesn't even know he can do this. So, how does he do this in UI? I've seen a lot of people saying this is UI Daniel upscale. I would argue to say that Kitae came downscale. Because let me remind you, UI Daniel couldn't beat Gun in a fight, which is why he started using technique in the first place, because that was the only way he saw to actually beat Gun in a fight. And even then, he was still losing. But Kitae was going pretty much dead even with Daniel, and Daniel only really lost because his body was fucked up. The next thing I want to talk about is part of why Pathless has finally been contradicted, because yeah, Daniel did more damage in UI to Kitae than he did when he was using his path. I don't like it, but you could blatantly tell that PTG just nerfed Daniel after the Incheon arc, so this was inevitable. Like, just to remind you how broken Daniel's Blitzkrieg was, first and foremost, he didn't have to perform an action, it would happen automatically whenever he was in danger, and on top of that, it was during egg, so it was guaranteed to put a hole and pretty much insta-kill anybody who he fights. It went from being that to now being something he has to actively perform as an action. On top of that, Daniel's ability to read someone's strike pass and read the gaps in their defenses was just one ability, but now in this arc it's just two separate things. Which, if we're being honest, this isn't the first time PTJ has made Daniel too strong an arc, and in the next arc he nerfs him in some type of way. The Hunt for Big Deal is a good example of this. A much better way he can just contradict path over pathless was just using unique skills, which I will make a separate video talking about that because this rant about the path over pathless thing has gone on long enough. Daniel getting into a slugfest with Kitae made no fucking sense, but I love it. Like, just to be very clear, Daniel has like 5 different ways he could have gotten out of this. I'm not kidding, he did one of them at the beginning of this chapter. Hell, one of the most obvious ones was just rip the fucking shirt, dude. But overall, I love the slugfest even though it doesn't make sense, because it was fun to watch. We do get some weird information about UI this chapter where it's stated that Daniel cannot feel pain or get tired, but that doesn't make sense because we have seen UI users, including Daniel himself, feel pain in UI multiple times, and Daniel blatantly loses the slugfest because of his fatigue. Now, to get on to the end of the chapter, I did not like how the chapter ended. Just to make it clear, I'm not surprised nor mad that Daniel lost, but it kinda just begs the question why put him in UI in the first place if he was just going to lose. Because nobody shows off to pick up where Daniel left off, so now Daniel's just left